However, there is some relief for the Uddhav Thackeray camp as well, with the Supreme Court now restraining the Election Commission of India from deciding a plea by the Eknath Shinde team to recognize that faction as the real Shiv Sena. The Supreme Court is likely to take a call on Monday if the Shinde versus Uddhav matter will be referred to a larger constitutional bench of the Supreme Court. Sunil Prabhu joining us at this point. Sunil, even as we hear now of the cabinet expansion that's due in Maharashtra in just a couple of days, Uddhav Thackeray will presumably count his blessings that for the moment at least the decision on who gets to be called the actual Shiv Sena has been pushed down the road?
Kept on hold, that would be the appropriate word, and that will be pending, of course, the Supreme Court taking that constitutional call whether it should be referred to a larger bench, because as the Chief Justice of India said, are you completely ignoring the political parties after being elected? Then is it not a danger to democracy? Who decides on the matter? Does it be a political party or a breakaway faction? These are big issues which have to be resolved. Because the CGI was saying, so you mean to say that the Supreme Court or the High Court cannot decide and cannot go into it? You say only the Speaker must be allowed to decide? So all these issues have to be looked at in its entirety. The fact that when a political party is broken through various means, as the Chief Justice of India pointed out, which is a threat to democracy, these have to be looked at in its entirety. And with the Election Commission of India already deciding to go ahead and hear this matter, this will be a relief for the Uddhav Thackeray camp, because now they will have to wait for that decision, judicial decision, of whether it should be referred to a larger constitutional bench. This matter has been heard a number of times, and it's in that context that the entire anti-defection law will have to be looked at its entirety, so that to ensure that India's democratic structures and institutions do not come under threat.
Right. Interesting details coming out of that hearing, Sunil. The fact that Eknath Shinde, in fact, or the Eknath Shinde team saying courts shouldn't interfere with internal party decisions taken democratically by a majority of party members. And the Chief Justice, it seems, asked several important questions to Team Shinde, wanting to know if they were completely ignoring political parties after being elected, then is that not a danger to democracy? Sunil?
That's right. I mean, these are very, very, very crucial questions, and that's the reason why they are looking at this entire issue. And as I said, ultimately a constitutional bench will look at this entire issue and decide whether it needs a larger bench. So this judicial decision of this bench, whether this should be referred to a larger, because as the Chief Justice of India pointed out, this has far-reaching implications for internal democracy, for democratic structures, and the role of anti-defection law. And that's when does it come into play? Does it come into play by what is a party meeting? Is it because after all there are political parties which call for meetings? Can a bunch of MPs or MLAs break away from a parent party and say that they are the real political party? So these are larger questions which need to be addressed, and that's the reason why on Monday we are expecting that call to be taken, whether it should be referred to a larger constitutional bench.
Right. Sunil, it's an interesting conundrum because you have the Eknath Shinde group claiming the support of 39 MLAs as opposed to some 15 belonging to the Uddhav camp. And presumably Mr. Shinde has actually sort of foregrounded that in his arguments to the top court.
Well, these are very complex legal as well as constitutional issues, and I don't want to get into it because these are discussed by top lawyers and top constitutional experts about where exactly who plays the role. Is it the political party or is it the breakaway legislature, somebody tomorrow? So these are questions which will have to be addressed ultimately by the highest court of the land, and that's why, as I said, finally a constitutional bench will have to take that matter. It is definitely a complex issue. That is why it is in the Supreme Court of India.